some digital effects, but you guys do a lot of practical effects and you do like real stunts. And I was wondering what was the coolest one you ever saw or got to do?
So for me, the coolest one I ever got to do is very easy. It's the jumping through the plate glass window. The coolest thing I saw was when I think Castiel either tackled an angel out of the window or something. Long story short, they jumped 4 stories out of a building in Westminster, British Columbia, which was terrifying. We're all sitting on the street, and sure enough, we're looking at this window, like, okay, and rolling, and blah, blah, ready. Well, I was looking, action! And all of a sudden, these 2 guys, like in a trench coat, and somebody else, come out of a 4th floor window, just barreling through the air and fall when they're safe. Between that and when Sam got hit by a car, watching my stunty Mike Carpenter get hit by a car without a helmet because Sam was not wearing a helmet. So you can't, as the photo double stuntman for Sam Winchester, if I'm not wearing a helmet, you can't wear a helmet. So he's just getting flipped in the air by a car. It was like mortifying. And we're all sitting there going like, are we about to witness something really bad about to happen? But between, so my favorite was jumping out of the church stained glass window. Season 4, episode 10 or something? 9, 10, 11. Heaven and Hell. Heaven and Hell, is that what it was? It was Alistair and then yeah, Jules, where are you? There you go. It was Heaven and Hell. And when did Misha jump out of the plate glass window? Third Man. And then, yeah, and then when did Sam get hit by a car?
The Born Again Identity.
The Born Identity, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so those 3 were exciting to me.
When did Sam get hit by a car for 200?
You always right.
There's, by the way, has anybody in here ever looked, gonna sell you out, anybody in here ever looked at the website Supernatural Wiki or the app? Can you hear for Jules? You stand up. I mean it. And everybody on set, like, you are more famous than you realize. So, thank you. I'm like, what was that? One second. It's appreciated. Yeah, so those are mine.
Special effects, there's been, I mean, obviously there's a lot, and I do feel like when we have an opportunity to do practical effects, we try to do them. But some of the ones that kind of stand out to me are good ones and bad ones. Ones that have gone great, and ones that have gone wrong. I'll start with the bad. It was just another Friday night body burn on the set of Supernatural. And, we were in a what do you call them? Earth. No, above. Not Earth. Above ground caskets. Mausoleum. So it was a small mausoleum. There was one coffin in there, and I walk in, and I don't know why I was the only one in there. I think you were like doing something outside.
Don't blame me.
Anyway,
don't blame me.
So what happened was they put accelerant, and they put a pilot basically, like inside the coffin, and then I strike the matches, throw it in, and they crack the gas, so it's all plumbed and everything. But there's accelerant. There's like this jelly stuff that's accelerant that they paint inside of the coffin so that it ignites very quickly. Well, they painted in there, and a little too much time had passed, and the off gas from that accelerant had started to build up inside the coffin, and it was all enclosed, so there was no like wind or night air to kind of blow it around. And it was basically now.
I'm hearing off gas and wanting to make a different joke.
And so the fumes basically had built up so much that as soon as I lit the thing, it exploded in my face. And the microphone, the boom operator had like a felt type of cover over the boom microphone, was about 3 or 4 feet above my head, got completely singed off. And by the way, I was like leaning over it, and it was just this explosion of fire. And luckily, I just like went like that, got out of the way. Needless to say, the special effects team was very upset. And they were very apologetic. But you know, I'm like, hey guys, this stuff happens. Like, it wasn't your fault. I know you didn't mean it. I trust these guys to do a lot, and they're great. Those kinds of incidences don't happen very often, which is why I remember it, or why I remember it so well. And then another one that I remember very well was when Dean gets killed in season 3.
Jules, which season's?
The Hellhounds. Season 3. Nailed it. I had to.
30 seconds to figure it out.
I had to. My entire wardrobe had tubes running to it. They wouldn't do this practical anymore after that day. This would be all in visual effects. But that day they decided to go practical, and so they had monofilament attached by like one thread to 6 different parts of my T-shirt. That when the invisible claw rips, somebody actually pulls on the fishing line, and the fabric of my shirt actually does rip open. And then at that point, another guy has a giant syringe about that big around and depresses it, and it's full of blood, and it runs up my leg and then just starts gurgling out of my chest. And then I had to stay with that stuff for about 6 hours. And it's corn syrup, so it hardens and turns into like candy. So I was like a walking Jolly Rancher.
What flavor would he be as well?
You said sour apple. You're right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So my question is from the most recent episode that you guys did with the ghoul that aired. In it, like, the sheriff kind of gets sucked underground and Dean's like over the hole and he's like, no, I don't want to go in there. And then he like sort of goes in and it's super funny. I wanted to know if that was like improv or not. And then also like what this season you guys have done so far to just like add into your characters.
Yeah, that whole tunnel thing, that was all improv. The not wanting to go in fact, it lasted a lot longer than they. I think I tried to go in about 3 times. I was like, nope, oh, come on! And I was like talking myself into going, and then I'd get like one leg in, and one I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go, what was that? Okay. I think I threw something in, and then I threw my flashlight in, and it was like, okay. I mean, it was, Nina was like, I need you to go into the hole, please. At some point tonight. But the thing is the hole was only...
All right. Watch you do that porn again?
Yeah, let's watch the 3 minutes after we're done talking. So that tunnel, the hole that they dug in that ground was only maybe 4 feet, 5 feet deep. And if you notice, I went in pretty quick. Yep. And I was, yeah. You're just down there, aren't you? Just like Pennywise right now, aren't you? In the gutter. So anyway, there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're not welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, would you come back next to another convention? And if so, which island would you come back to?
I'd probably not. It's a little cold here. Weather's a bit shoddy. I'd rather go someplace that's nice and, you know, of course we'd come back. This place is amazing. This is my first time here, so I don't know. Is there another island we should go to? Okay. Kona? That's Hawaii.
Nope, don't answer. Yeah, that too.
Oahu.
Yes, that's where we are.
Right, that's this island.
Where is Kona?
Also known as, is this known as like the main island? What's the main island?
Hawaii.
That's the big island.
There's Maine and big are different.
Well, because this is like the
gathering place.
The gathering place? Oahu. All right.
I want to go to,
This is the capital, right?
Hawaii.
Honolulu.
Is it Hawaii? What's the least popular?
Hawaii.
Hawaii? I was saying so I've been to a few, I've been to Kona, I've been to Maui, I've been to now Oahu, but there's one, either Lanai or Hawaii, that are the least popular. Yes, that one. Lanai, yeah. All of them. I mean, let's be honest. I'm sure we go to every single island that's part of the Hawaiian Islands. It's stunning out here, so thank you all for bringing us out.
Maybe we can have like a progressive convention where like each day is on a different island.
Each function.
Everybody that works in creation just going.
Photographs. The stage talks.
That's a hard pass.
Photographs from Hawaii. The autographs on Lanai. Shuttle buses. Shuttle planes to different islands. I'm in. Thank you, creation. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi there.
Hello. My question is, what's the coolest scars y'all have?
Funny you should ask. Scars? I don't know.
I have a piece of pencil. So it's the lead from a typical pencil that my girlfriend in 7th grade stabbed me in the arm with. It's still there. It's right there.
Chainsaw scar, so.
You have a chainsaw scar?
Yes.
I'll go with the pencil. I'm sorry. Do we want to know?
No, I didn't do it to myself, so.
I have a very fresh scar. It looks like a hellhound scratch. It's not a real hellhound.
Cut with a chainsaw, dude.
I'm trying to change the subject because I'm scared.
Can I assume this was an accident?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, because if you said no, then I'm in. I want the full story.
It was an accident. I was holding a tree limb and he brought it down too quick.
Why were you holding a tree limb?
Got it.
Because he was trimming it and I was trying to be nice.
Who's he?
My friend Remington.
Is
Her
Remington
ex-friend, Remington. Wow. No, I don't have my hands are kind of scarred up a bit. I just one here on my finger that happened on set while I was chambering around on my 1911, the Dean's pistol, and it got jammed. So in an effort to quickly unjam it before they yelled action, I just re-racked it really quickly, but my hand slipped and the meat of this finger got caught into the
Middle of the tape, we're rolling.
it literally was like whack, and then I ripped it out and just a big flap of skin. And I looked at it and it was just like, and then they go, action! And so I held the flap of skin down with my thumb, and then did the take. And then went down and there was just blood all over my hand. I was like, well, that probably doesn't work. Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, a month ago maybe, in this season of shooting, I was in my driveway playing with Tom and Shep, and they were riding their scooters, and they were like, Daddy, let's ride. And I was like, I didn't have shoes on, so I was like, well, all right. And I was like, we always wear helmets. So we went to the garage, grabbed a helmet, and then grabbed my bike, started riding my bike, and we were going around in circles in the driveway, and Shep came to a really abrupt stop in front of me, and so I had to sort of come to a really abrupt stop as well to not smash over him. And being barefoot on a bike, let me see if I can go. You can see, I have like a.
I remember that, right? It literally looked
like
a mountain lion. Got it.
Yeah. It's hard to see, but I'll just send you this. You can see. It's nasty, but it didn't go.
But you win, okay? Let's be clear about it. You win.
I'll take the bronze medal. I'll take third place.
Yeah.
Chainsaw beats bicycle. Rock, paper, scissors. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Hey, tell Remington to be careful. And as far as you go, stop holding tree branches.
I operate the chainsaw.
Hi.
Aloha. My question is, what moment in the series so far were you the most proud of each other's characters?
Characters or... I mean, there's so much. I don't want to look dumb-faced, but...
Oh, no.
The time they did that thing, and they were just like, you know, and everything was... No, there's not one. There are a bunch. What was yours? Can you narrow down to one?
When Sam hit the doctor ghost that was about to drill my face, and he came in, and I was pretty proud of him then. Because I didn't die. Again.
I'm going to be really weird and say that I'm most proud of Dean for many, many things, but I think it's not difficult for me to understand his sacrifice these days, as far as when he sacrifices for his brother, for his friends, for his mother, for Cat, whatever. So I'm going to go back to the Dean that showed up in my dorm room in the pilot and asked for help when we hadn't spoken. Honestly, like that was more out of his comfort zone, and I think he's probably been since. But it was one of these, like I know, things like that. It's not difficult for me to see how Dean sacrifices his life for Sam these days. He's done it many times, and vice versa. So I'm going to go back to going out of his comfort zone to start this whole show we call Supernatural.
Hi, my name is Marianne.
Hi, Marianne.
I don't know if you guys have control over this, but with
No.
with the Supernatural fundraisers, the last time I saw the very first, the original baby, it was on the back lot in pieces. If it's still there, would you ever consider cannibalizing it and offering it to the fan base in little pieces?
Wouldn't that be so disturbing? Like, I mean, cool.
We had a bridge, a historic bridge in my hometown.
Right.
It's like a Berlin Wall, like here's a chunk.
It got taken out by ice one year. And the next year, to raise funds to replace it, they offered little pieces of it with a hand-painted picture of it and sold them off to raise funds.
Very smart.
Yeah,
Somebody's
so-
using their head over there.
It got taken away by ice. Was it put back together by fire?
Though I think it would, though it's a good idea. I think with the car, that would be heartbreaking. You cut it up into tons of little tiny pieces. That being said, that car that you did see is, I believe, still in the same shape that it was. We have about 6 different Impalas at varying stages of like assembly. We have about 3 that are fully functional cars. And then we have another 3 that are, one there's no engine, the doors are off, and one has a roof off, so we can utilize it to shoot different angles and different things. So yeah, the one you probably saw was one of our like 5 or 6, the 5th or 6th car.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I may or may not have the original decal from the finale of season 1, well, HONCON. I can't confirm
We know
or deny
you
it.
do. Everybody knows you do.
I cannot confirm nor deny it. Call me Jared Kushner. I don't know. I don't remember. I guess I forgot. I forgot about WikiLeaks.
But who knows, maybe there's some other stuff that we can figure out something to do with. That is a good idea.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks a bunch.
Hi there.